one slip up against Amalek Esports in the regular season. And I think they only get stronger as we do move into best of fives. Although KT did really give them a run for their money. Still waiting to see if GENG can do something like that as well, as we have the same bans as game 2.
Yeah, Jace going to be the first pick once again. And we'll see what T1 decide to do AD carry-wise here. All right, we may be running it back. The Viego actually coming through instead of the Sejuani, though, this time. As it was banned in the second phase.
Okay.
This has been an old favorite of owners. You know, much more known for his Lee Sin play.
How does T1 get red side again? Because GENG choose. Loser choose. Higher seed choose first game, and then the loser chooses.
The Thresh to come through as besides the Viego,
Holy, this gives me flashbacks, guys. We beat T1. I beat T1 with exactly these champs. Like T1 at these champs.
Instead of a Wukong ban here for T1.
Yeah.
Although, maybe they say, oh yeah, it was fine. Like,
Explain like I'm 5. Why blue side over red side?
Do it again.
Usually you pick blue side when you have very strong first picks, or if you feel a lot more limited in your counters.
Lissandra, I think, is a great adaptation here because Faker has looked really good on it. It weakens the Ahri and LeBlanc.
Upset beat T1, you mean? Upset played very well, but it's a team effort, you know.
If we were calling for in the previous set. We'll see what Faker decides to do here to save that counter pick for Zeus.
You know, I worked very hard the whole year. I was in New York. I was backstage.
So he'll take the Ahri, right?
Ahri is a lot better with Viego than it is with the other champs that we saw. So they're just gonna send Jace top. Here you have options though to pick tank top into Jace because you picked the Viego.
Is Ahri Thresh. They don't have to have the Vi necessarily. LeBlanc here going to be a skill-based matchup for Chovy to try to get ahead there. As ornaments to make this comp amplified in the late game and to just weather the storm against this Jace feels very strong here too for T1. And for GENG now, you really have to kind of out-skirmish this team and outplay them at every turn. And it's, once again, giving, in my opinion, Chovy the keys to the GENG van right now, you know, because we're either driving home, going to the loser's bracket, or we're reverse sweeping and it starts right here. And the LeBlanc is going to be such a critical part of this composition. He's going to have to threaten.
Yeah, I like red side a lot.
Faker's Ahri in the
I like red side here.
Across the map in lane. And yeah, you've got good engage, you've got good poke, and you have scaling. But I think Chovy is really going to be the X factor here in this draft. As T1 also scale incredibly well, have those ornaments, and have incredible pick. So it is going to be very difficult here as GENG. We've seen them get leads and...
I like T1 here.
I don't want to say choke, but just get outplayed by these critical T1 members with so much experience.
Saying, oh, we won in 5 games. Let's go for the reverse sweep here. As a nice little GENG Tiger there with its tail wrapped around T1. We'll see if that's what ends up happening. As they're saying, T1, let's go to Jamsil, which is where the finals location is, of course, located. So, going to be an interesting one. I think that, you know, you talked about giving the keys to the GENG van over to Chovy. I think that you're putting Faker onto another playmaking mid, and you've got Owner on Viego. The two of them together are going to be incredibly deadly, as here we go again. Really well done, actually. That's like a 10 out of 10.
This is it for GENG here in the winner's side of the bracket. One more slip up, one more loss in this best of 5. And you are going down to losers.
Absolutely. It all comes down to this. Let's see if they can start the return, come back, or will T1 just take it all away?
What's the YamatoCannon Subway order? Basically, you order Italian BMT. You put lettuce, cucumber, peppers, and then you put carrots, salt, and pepper. And then you put Parmigiano.
A little bit of action here at level 1.
LCK don't take 3 spots.
We'll zoom in. Maybe Doran got some first strike gold.
And then she put the southwest.
Either way, he's gonna back. Just to get some health back.
indeed. Comet here for Zeus. And Owner has, with this Ahri Vi, which is another, Ahri Viego, which is another common pairing for the Ahri, before Vi became meta. A lot of agency this game. You just need your jungler to start with VI, and you're going to have a good time.
Yeah. What about VE?
Worlds, LCK, and LPL have 4 spots, and then
Not going to happen.
LCS and LEC fight over the 4th seed. So both LEC and NA have 3 seeds, and they fight over the 4th.
You could use Distortion to get out of a lot of hairy situations against almost any jungler. But, you know, picks like Talia, which we've seen in the past be super important, really struggle. You know,
Yeah, probably this year, I think
there's a strong mid jungle here for T1,
NA doesn't have chances in a BO5. I don't think NA4 can beat EU4.
Have to use your chains as your main form.
Because we have to assume that's going to be like Vitality, maybe Astralis, BDS. We have some solid 4s. And then, like, the 4 is who? Like, 100 Thieves.
We'll have to keep that in mind as the game comes along. We have had a lot of already interesting objective plays and potential steals going either way. Zeus takes a big chunk here. But yeah, Faker on the mobile Ahri might be looking to do some stealing later on in the game, from the red side especially. It's a little bit easier to just hop over the wall and get in there and potentially steal it away alongside of Owner.
Yeah, Chovy is one of those players that is so incredibly good at these picks like LeBlanc and knows these assassin matchups so well that he does not use his abilities.
I am not currently scheduled to go to MSI, no. I'm just going to co-stream from home.
The most impressive thing about what he's doing in this lane is keeping his mana full, using his abilities only to harass Faker and proc Electrocute, but really just making sure he hits his autos perfectly timed on the minions to push out this advantage. So you can see his mana bar is quite high here, just doing a lot of damage.
We found the NA fan.
Handling the pressure decently well.
Yeah, you're right. The start of the BDF showing a lot of BO5 strength.
Just a little bit. As Owner is going for a nice little run into the enemy jungle. They are going to know that he is over there, just based on the Spire's Bloom. I believe that he did.
I'll prefer Spellbook for Ornn, yeah. Comet's kind of useless.
For just a moment, which I feel like is going to benefit Peanut. Gives him some time to try to hit level 6 before Owner gets a little bit too active on the map.
But he's vibing.
Doran's ring picked up here for Faker with the early teleport.
He has on seal. Peanut.
Yeah.
He's reading this like
I don't think Berserker is better than Caps.
As it looks like he's just gonna back. Okay. T1 kind of avoiding a very scary
I think Berserker is better than Mickey.
Really well handled, Delay.
Okay, nice little lantern, gonna shield some of that health, but good engage there from Delight, who uses his Ignite, and it's essentially just a harass at the end of the day.
Yeah, grabbing a cleanse feels nice.
Caps doesn't look great this year either.
And, you know, it's a Cole matchup here.
Disagree.
On the bottom side, if you get any sort of advantage, it can snowball incredibly hard. And when you know your opponent has Cole as well, you know, you can look for these aggressive trades.
Topside, Ornn, ever since
this is a morning chat right now.
Onto the Rift, ever since his release, has been the guy to just go up against the Jace. He's always been the best, especially because of his trading potential. As Faker is actually winning these trades now. Probably hit a charm here to make that happen. Chovy maybe getting a little bit too frisky.
Yeah, looks like it. They're both sitting on Doran rings here.
Bro, EU and NA, we have many things in common. We're both gonna get clapped.
The unsealed spellbook hasn't been used just yet for Faker. Could maybe look for an Ignite play there, something like that, but doesn't commit hard. And Chovy does have his corrupting pot, so it's gonna be back to normal here, but at least now the pressure has been relieved. Faker looking like he's gonna match this back here, but actually will stay and try to get an early Drake. Obviously, he uses bottom side.
What did I have for breakfast? Nothing.
With these early objectives, stacking them up. And it is going to be a Chemtech Drake first.
Yeah, so the cleanse is interesting.
This time, at least. So they know it's like it's definitely not as bad as it has been the last 2 games with their early advantages.
Yeah, I actually, in between games, I got on the phone with Ox, and I had to do a little bit of convincing, but he actually did allow us to not have a Chemtech Soul this time. So thank you, Ox. for that wonderful generosity.
Yeah.
Did you say thank you, Cox?
Probably a more
Who the fuck is Cox?
Here, as
Someone's called Cox?
Infernal Drake is going to come through here for game number 3.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much all of the rest of the Drakes that...
That's a crazy name. It's like that
movement speed's gonna be huge here.
that person from
against the poke, especially of
Scrubs.
Be massive for T1. If they end up getting
Oaks.
sold, so
Jesus.
I feel like it's going to be very relevant this time around.
I heard
it's not just gonna
Cox.
be the Elder Spawner, as we did see. It obviously was kind of important for the Aphelios last game. It's often very low on health, but no, we don't have to talk about that this time around. As
Yeah.
it's a bit of a lull state here in the early game. Not enough control to start up this Herald just yet. It's obviously hasn't spawned yet, but neither team going to be looking to group for that early.
Yeah, this is what sometimes happens in long series as well, best of fives especially, where teams, you know, they get a little crazy early on, but then they kind of take a step back. They have a second talk with the coach.
AK 3.5 millimeters.
You don't need to go this crazy. Also could be nerves at times. I don't think it really is for these players.
That is crazy. That is wild, dude.
I really like the vision set up here for GENG. Is they don't have vision of owner right now, but this wave is pushing out. Look at the ward line.
GENG didn't get clapped per se, but they got mentally broken, in my opinion.
Hook onto Delight as he does have flash, as he hops over to Peas, and he's ticking down first blood. Keria picks it up in the bottom lane.
The Ignite ticks through, and it's enough damage. So even though you had vision of everywhere owner could have been, you didn't use it because the one place you didn't know where he was.
Just in time for LPL, guys.
There's a control vision on the blue buff, and there's
Just
vision,
in
of
time
course,
for the
there's lack
LPL.
of vision in that brush, and they still end up getting hooked. Plate gold is insane here for Guma this early on in the game. It wasn't he who picked up the first.
That's a TikTok video right there.
Yeah, I think he's gonna get it because it's a massive wave, and Pace is just trying to get in here and farm.
It was one kill. Charm here onto Chovy. He's going to be okay, but now this lane isn't even, you know, he doesn't have any charges on his corrupting pot at the moment. Looks like they did not get the third turret plate, but still, to do that much damage here 8 minutes into the game is gigantic.
I mean, they likely will get it because of the damage done, like you say. And they could just Thresh Lantern out of here. This is pretty huge.
That's a dry hook, by the way.
They didn't know where owner was, but by the process of elimination, they probably realized there was a good chance he was on the bottom side of the map doing the blue buff and or the Gromp because those were up. But they didn't expect him to be there.
Look at this.
The hook. Okay.
They fake a back as summoners are here for the side of them as they dodge the knockup once again, and they get on in there. Owner picks up the kill.
T1.
And a Lantern comes in again. This is pristine play on the bottom side of the map.
It's the biggest lead they've had this series. It's just straight up the biggest lead they've had this early this series, and now you have a very
Luckily, T1 is not that good with a lead.
on the side of GENG. And this next Drake is spawning in 90 seconds here. Both of these Drakes, you know, lead to a better soul, like we've talked about. Peanut's going to try to get something back. No flash on owner.
Okay, he's
Okay, Peanut. Channeling is in a canyon. Okay, okay, that's a comeback. That's a comeback. Come on. Go
Can
on.
they bait Faker in here? Chovy's in the vicinity. This would be huge.
A bit of damage on a Peanut. He's just going to smite and get out of there. Elects not to get too crazy with it.
I like that.
Has level 6,
in this moment here, they believed in Faker more than they believed in themselves.
The wards and the vision here, it's just not a lot of angles for him to be anywhere but the bottom side of the map.
Not getting hooked by this.
The Thresh hook that makes it all happen. Like, if that hook doesn't go off for Keria, whether he's there or not is insignificant. But Keria once again hits the hook.
Peanut has blood running in his veins.
They know exactly when he's going to hop in with the Grand Entrance. We got a fight on live, though, as Zaze is going to be the first one to go down.
Okay.
And you see
GENG waking up.
the Ornhorn just flies by.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of details and pieces missing for this one, but
His blood is
missing, as you say,
warm.
and now GENG completely in control, and Guma.
I love the
he has
replay,
no
guys.
Ultimate here. Owner doesn't have Heartbreaker, so the steal angle's not there. This is very greedy from T1 to stick around regardless.
Don't really have to fight this one, but they say they still have an angle. They have Zaze.
Okay, Zeus is late, but he has no
He's gonna go
Arnold.
into the mid lane. That's all he can.
Take the mid platings, guys. Fuck this Herald. Fuck this Herald.
T1 basically just tickled them while it was happening.
Fuck
So
this
Zaya's
Herald,
flash
man.
down, he dies, loses ultimate, and then now his TP is down to come to a fight where he's too late, unfortunately. This doesn't take anything away from the advantages that T1 had moments before. Faker's also going to pick up.
I think this draft is harder than the previous one, that's for sure.
Okay, Chovy, can he get the chains?
Oh, Chovy, bender like Beckham.
Faker's, he uses that speed boost from the REW so well to just dodge the chains and be super annoying for Chovy.
No vision on this Drake, so regardless of losing that Herald, T1 are going to get the second Drake of the game. It's Mountain Soul, which is really massive for T1 in this game. The safety that you're going to have on your Felios, the additional resistances for Ahri when she dives, and the
Mountain Soul.
So this is very problematic for GENG. Let's see what happens here as T1 are a little bit late for the group up, and Zeus is just way out on his own.
Legit, T1 is currently
using his ultimate and his flash to try to survive.
They have
T1 decide, okay, the
11
Herald
Drakes.
is going to be like our 5th man in this fight, and maybe we'll still get something, but they're unsuccessful.
No, 12 Drakes.
Still get that Drake, and this is going to be top, where they drop this for Doran.
Can you tag your stream with spoiler, please? I'm only on season 3 of League.
This time around, even into,
that's a good joke.
The tank doesn't matter. Still going to be looking to hit the squishy underbelly of the T1 composition.
They got 12 Drakes.
Mountain Soul can be so problematic for GENG. At least he's going to get some additional plates here. It looks like
I think LeBlanc should buy Serpent's Fang.
Side here in our LCK playoffs, which makes me happy because I think it was one of the builds that was a little bit more niche.
Whereas Jace is gonna carry, change my mind. My chat is so fucking funny sometimes.
You know, itemization that allows you to push your advantages, like in a lane they have here.
We keep zooming in on the mid lane, but so far it's just been trades back and forth. Very often this just.
Do you think T1 is winning worlds this year?
By the way,
maybe.
Back in Mrs. Chains.
Faker is just dodging every single chain.
Pretty much.
Chovy in this lane. And
wow, Faker is dodging everything.
Oh, he is in a rough spot here.
Owner the boner.
He's going to heartbreaker the wall and get on over as Charm misses Chovy. He's following up with some damage. Carry is also getting in there. I don't know if they don't have any members of GENG are right there.
Okay.
Well, there's no objective to fight over, so this is a
T1 has some buttons, guys. They have some buttons. They have Wukong, they have Rakan. They have very streamlined ways of playing fights.
As Faker does get away, doesn't have to flash. Carrier now flashless, but has Hex Flash, so not going to be too big of a deal. This would have been massive for GENG if there was a Drake to take right afterwards, but unfortunately, that is not the case. And
how many kills does Peanut have across all maps? I have no clue, dude.
So a close call for Owner.
Do you think I'm sitting here and counting the kills Peanut is getting?
Low cooldown, doesn't have to flash.
Fucking, did you figure out your own bets?
Everything's calm on the Rift as Peanut wants to do something, but no ult.
Charm the clone. As here comes Delight. He's got a nice little angle. Pretty sneaky, but they do spot him. Meanwhile, on the top side, this Rift Herald did do a massive chunk into these
peanut butter jelly time, peanut butter jelly time.
But he will be unsuccessful.
Yeah, and the more you force these fights on the bottom side of the map, the more Doran is safe to continue to push these advantages here on the top side. So explains a lot of why they were trying to continue to chase and force there. They weren't going to get a bottom side plate. He's unsuccessful getting that plate there, and it's a high-action, low-kill game that we're looking at right now. And the next big fight is going to be for what could be T1's insanely fast soul point, because they got those first 2 Drakes so quickly. We're looking at a 16-minute third Drake of the game if they take it instantly here. So GENG need to be ready and set up for this. Doran has teleport, needs to save it. Chovy looking for that mythic.
Chovy LB, man, we got so fisted by Chovy LB, I couldn't believe it. And, I have nightmares of Chovy LB. 12 CS per minute LB.
0-2 so far for them in this series. One more loss and they drop down.
Yeah, it's not easy. It looks very different from what we saw in the finals last year. GENG were able to get 3-0 in summer.
This is good Everfrost Ahri game.
Everything in every direction. Zeus just gonna face check.
Oh, Doran's getting some money.
But he's just gonna boost himself away.
This is scarier than Chovy, yo. Yeah, for sure.
Zeus has no teleport. Doran does, and can of course join this Drake fight.
Oh shit, LeBlanc is buying Everfrost. Okay.
Zeus just stays under turret, decides, well, I'll just give my life. I mean, that seemed pretty straightforward. He had
Ahri good Everfrost. LeBlanc, terrible Everfrost.
Peanut was there, too. Like, they could have
little
actually
solo
really
bolo.
forced this, even if he decides to back away.
Sidman is just the best.
Back and then
You just know.
turret back and then teleport to the Drake fight. So this is really huge. And Zeus, you know, he's respawning here in 10, does have his ult and flash. But T1 need to be better grouped for this Drake. They have Cryo right now. See if they can hold on to it.
So Hook going through, they're trying to get whatever pick that they can before this
Honestly,
starts,
some of the
but I don't
Chovy
think it's
builds
really
have
gonna
been
happen.
some of the
Another
worst I've ever
45
seen.
Zeus is running
Should have seen
over
his
as
Victor
fast as
build it.
possibly can.
He had 4 items and he had like 300 AP.
Here and give themselves a
I don't know.
streak.
He had 4 items with Victor, and no item was death cap, no item was void stuff.
Seems like he is so incredibly gifted at dodging things in this.
That is like
He's clearly very in the zone.
record breaking.
As Hook is in, they get the knock up here. Chovy's
Okay,
taking
Chovy
some
took a lot of
unnecessary
DPS
damage on
here.
the bottom side. T1, Carrier, and Zeus
Chovy
able
got
to set that one up.
some DPM in the head.
Now Zeus is here with
Faker on the flank, but Faker can't really connect here. This is very awkward for T1. Look at Faker's position. How do they piece this together?
They don't have full vision there. It's actually very nice vision control for Gen G on the
Press
left side, so
forward.
Faker's gotta choose his
Press
angles
forward.
wisely. Is trying to get in there.
Play with your
He does an
LeBlanc.
insane amount of damage. Saguma and T1 say, well, we can't fight that now. Gen G gonna pick up the first mountain drink.
It's the
Sorry for screaming,
rare
guys.
LeBlanc, but it's some additional damage here, and that's going to be the first Drake of the game here for Gen G. A very valuable.
That's a
one.
dragon,
Start
guys.
Stacking up these mountains against T1's composition.
Holy,
and it's
Gen
very
G.
problematic, especially considering the build here from Faker,
This Mountain Drake
which
is
the
gonna
more
give them
standard one
all
here
the
with
hope they need
Everfrost. But it's
to
gonna be
play
a lot
like
of
gods.
damage on their team composition until Guma hits his 3rd item LDR, so we're very far away from that. But
No, it's like Ari is showing on mid-wave. Like, why on earth are they not posturing?
Makes this Jace pick stronger, so they're going to be able to turn this into also a.
Zakari was on mid-wave showing,
herald of the game on the
and Chovy was like channeling his inner knight. He was finding like really good angle there from Tribush. And I think that I think that Wukong and Rakan can just easily deliver like a game-winning fight.
Teleports over to the objective. This hardly even needed to be shown, but Chovy's play in the fight, which I hope we don't miss the replay of, is massive because he's able to threaten Guma. He was just chugging his refillables as well after he went down to half health, so he could actually go in there and make that threat happen.
I think this game it's Ludens into Shadow Flame game.
Well, we might not get another look at it because there was no blood on the Rift, I suppose. So, yeah, just know that Chovy was able to unlock that angle on the bottom side even after getting chunked out. So we kind of resume our bit of a lull state here. Both of the teams just waiting by. And Gen G with a little bit less hard engage. I mean, they still have Wukong and Rakan, of course. It's no Malphite, though. And I feel like that's going to just be even better for the Aphelios because he loves when people are in melee range, such as, you know, the Rakan and the Wukong, but just needs to survive the engage in the first place.
Yep. And this is going to be the Herald taking out this turret. Now, this is what they were not able to accomplish with the LeBlanc pick in Game 1, is get rid of this turret so that LeBlanc has a lot more freedom to come over and punish anyone who's trying to farm in mid. So the farming becomes more difficult for Guma now. Speaking of...
Okay. He could have cancelled that. Pinatsky.
He gets away.
Pinatsky is sleeping.
No, I'm just kidding.
I think that was probably Carrier having a panic attack.
Peanut is sleeping.
Get over here on my lantern. Why are you pathing that way? Don't walk that way. And then Kuma's like, no, dude, it's chill. I got his Cyclone. Cyclone for lantern trade. I always trusted you, Carrier. It's okay.
Yeah.
Little Infinity Edge for Aphelios.
On the bottom side of the map.
I'm just gonna try to see the game in my brain.
Will try to push in here and take down this turret. And that they do. Big rotation over from a lot of the guys on the side of Gen G as there's the Shock Blast, but this is an Ari with Flash we're talking about, so it's not like Faker's in any trouble.
Nope. We'll have his teleport back now. And it wasn't like a teleport commitment or anything like that, just a trap set. They saved the turret, so denying some gold is pretty massive. And look at this, the Jace, once again. 2,300 gold at the time we take a look at this. I feel like all 3 games we've seen this. Let's see what Doran could do with it this time.
All right.
Because he's gotten such a massive lead, like Keen did. Similarly, remember, not quite as big, but a massive lead that Keen had in the KT Rollster series for T1. earlier on in our playoffs. And then T1 was able to survive through and win it out in the end. So
yeah,
GENG need to make sure they just don't drop the ball here and continue to win these objectives, because I think they absolutely can win this game, and they're on the right track too, because Chovy is also in a good spot this game. They don't have.
I'm so comfortable, guys. We're just waiting for this Drake.
Like, one of the best chances they'll have in this
Let's see if Gumayushi actually can finish his item here, because I don't think Zaya has gold.
Let's see though how the fights go out. You see that
Gumayushi has some playthings in the pocket.
Just a bit to try to get Brio in mid lane for the Mountain.
I don't know why Fake is buying.
Looks like GENG.
I don't know why Fake is buying Zhonya's.
They can start setting traps with this LeBlanc, like I was talking about.
And yeah, the LeBlanc.
Good to see it, Dom.
Carrier's gonna have to go back real quick. He's backing on a ward.
That is such a sick setup, though. You could see where the Everfrost leads to an empowered shock blast. Delay,
you're there.
Okay, Mickey X impression.
You're backing on a ward. Gotta be careful.
This Drake looks pretty losing now for blue side. Doran's actually not buying Cyril though.
Getting this Drake here, worst case scenario, and owner's forced away now too. Gonna have to Lantern, and man, T1 nowhere near the Drake now as Faker is in the top lane. He has teleport, but he's not threatening anything.
A nice angle here for Chovy. He finds Owner, who has to heartbreak away, and now doesn't have that. The poke from the side of GENG from ahead is insane.
Nobody buys Cyril though.
Chovy, man, he does have the keys
really?
to the man this game. I'm telling you, he is doing everything by himself right now with no vision, and that's that mid-turret value.
Do Baron? Do Baron?
There's a control ward here.
You didn't see Zeus do it?
Doran. He actually
to
top.
Okay, they're going to start it. As you see that Doran is still doing the streak. He's got the TP, as you mentioned.
Yes.
But is the damage enough? I mean, I don't think they're going to get it.
White weapon.
Get into the pit. As Zeus going to blow the
oh, no.
But it doesn't matter. Faker with a double snipe. It was not a flip.
They all get out.
T1. Double smite down the Baron, and they get out.
They double smite it, they get away, they have so much mobility here. They have flash expended for
oh my god, man.
Baron, so Baron for Drake trade here. And it was Chovy, in fact, who teleported top, not Doran, so he can't actually blast.
They are getting buying time for the ornaments.
He alone is trying to come double smite, you're never going to win that. And T1 has showed the strat so many times. It happened to KT. Twice, actually, in the same game, and now
Faker
looking for something.
Imagine I tell you guys, wow, there's this item, guys, that exists called Cyrilla. It gives you 35 lethality. Do you want to buy it?
The question that we have to ask here now.
So do you want 35 lethality right now? 35.
Yeah, and
that makes every attack of you slow. It has Frozen Mallet and Rylai's built into it.
But T1 need to
you know what else? It gives you ability haste. You like ability haste, don't you?
Tier 1, the very obvious first objective, right? Try to take this down. It's going to give you the most map control possible, as GENG are kind of flying around, taking a lot of damage, trying to stop them, but this is against Baron. So not really successful in that.
Sounds trash.
Pushing the side. So is Faker, of course. As LeBlanc is just going to be a big threat here, trying to
Doran.
That's going to force
Doran.
Okay, a little bit of damage here.
Okay, Gumayushi using buttons.
Not just allow Chovy to really hit their members.
Not a believer here of using Gale Force like that, but I guess he got a little chunky.
But I think
playing Lantern.
Really with it quite nicely here. Another wave of super minions, or rather Baron minions, coming over.
Gotta be careful. They're getting caught over here. Zeus, nice buffer.
Oh, Kevin. Kevin Duran.
Who has no mana.
Yeah, he has no mana here.
John Doran.
He's gonna get some mana as we. Okay. We got fighting all over the rift.
Looks like this is going to be the end of Doran's attempting.
Oh, he has the own horn. Meep, 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 meep.
Cyclone defensively, and T1 say, okay, we still have Baron for 45 seconds. Let's just take the turret and not force
Doran de Moran.
It feels like it's been a very long time since we've seen Peanut actually have an impactful Cyclone in this game on the offensive here. I mean, he's happened
Come on, Kevin.
Defensively to get away from these fights, but he's never able to actually.
He bought Shirelia instead of Moonstone. No, I'm kidding, guys. I'm kidding. It's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke. Moonstone on Sona is really good. Don't put me in wars.
And it is, of course.
Don't put me in any of your wars.
It's the ornament Jack shows that he's picked up here. That's what the icon is showing there, top right. So he's a lot tankier now. He's a lot more difficult to kill. You have a lot of damage now on this Aphelios. About to be on 3 items. Did go for the Bloodthirster this time around because that big threat isn't there.
I heckin' love Serpent's Fang.
But it's not quite the same.
It's not a great Serpent's Fang game.
T1 wrestling back a lot.
I'm a Serpent's Fang enjoyer, but I don't enjoy it this much.
I wouldn't say steal, but
I like Cirilla more.
A sneaky Baron.
Heist.
A sneak, yeah.
It felt like, yeah, like this big plans. We're going to go in there and get the jewel and get out.
And like,
so I like the word heist.
Yeah, and T1 now are in a position where they're like, okay, we got enough map.
Currently, Ari has 120 armor. Viego has 120 armor. Ornn has 200 armor. Aphelios has 80 armor, like 70 maybe.
And this is a
Thresh also 70. Cirilla's crazy.
On their terms.
Look at this. Xayah is buying LDR. Okay? She's like, wow, the enemy has a lot of armor and HP. I'm gonna buy Cirilla. I mean, LDR. And then Jace. What is Jace doing?
In the face of 5 members of T1 or even 4.
No CDR item. Guys, I'm a Serpent's Fang enjoyer, but Serpent's Fang sucks donkey ass on Jace.
But there are ways for T1 to try to turn it. And even one
you need CDR.
Could be the difference.
Oh, healing reduction.
Chop down a lot of the damage from Chovy.
He just decided he's the team's cuck.
T1 a chance to just stabilize. GENG, an incredibly important moment for them, as they would love a 3rd Mountain Drake, of course.
I love the Serpent's Fang here against Guma's shield. Picked up from Doran as well. Nice little tech.
To be fair, 800 gold. If you think this fight is all in here, if this is the big fight, you like buying Vampiric. I mean, Executioners is not bad. Oh, Keria. Well, I think Keria is still like. I think there was a bug there because I think Keria played perfect.
Where Doran needs to be doing damage here, but he can't see. He can't hit what he cannot see. Chovy's going over the wall to clear vision here and basically be a living ward for those shock.
All right, Peanutsky. Oh, that's a good one, Peanutsky. Where does Peanut get this confidence from? To just walk in like that, dude.
T1 get their first Mountain Drake.
I mean, that was about as good as it was going to get.
Where does he get this confidence from?
GENG with the Shock Blast coming through with Chovy on the chains just to maybe hope for a 3rd Mountain here to go over.
All fucking 4 T1 junglers, man.
For a Cyclone. And the rest of his team is so
Look at him! Look at him!
Bizarre flank angle here. You don't know where Keria is.
What is this, man? No one is in position.
This is another puzzle.
Come on, man. Come on, Peanutsky.
More fighting, Wolf.
All right, Keria with the moves.
Chovy and Delight get themselves in a rough spot, but they get the TP and they get out.
Keria's in such a weird position because he's obviously really fucking insane. He's really good. He's so fucking good, but everyone has turned him into such a meme that I just want to be a TikToker.
But he can't threaten to this by himself. Needs the rest of his team and needs a shock blast.
Yeah, I thought this game it's Ludens into Shadowflame game for LB. But what I know, it's like 30 minutes into the game and the enemy don't have a single MR item because you're solo AP.
Yeah, but I don't think they can do this unless they win a team fight against T1.
Yeah, seems pretty difficult.
Seems pretty sus. Doran's at half health now.
Yeah, seeing a lot of damage. So is Keria, but obviously not as important as Doran in this point in time.
And the Shock Blast value just isn't really there.
Oh, look at that Shock Blast damage on the Ahri with 150 armor.
Cooldown of that, and we'll return to this fight.
Yeah, Guma holding Calibrum, so he's actually doing a decent amount of poke damage in this fight before it even begins.
Yeah, now he's got the Infernum set for a big
Haze, LDR, Doran. Healing reduction.
Wave and T1 see that as the angle to pull the trigger here on this Baron Peanut.
Chovy's behind them. I don't know if they know about this, but Keria going to get the news.
All right, Chovy. All right, Chovy. I like this Chovy position.
Trying to get in. The damage is there.
To be fair, Chovy is playing really well with Everfrost. Let's give him that. Oh! Doof, 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 doof. Tick, 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 boom.
On both sides, but Guma is the final boss at this point in time. He's looking to Try to get on in there, but not quite able to follow up on that.
I love it when big AoE abilities can crit.
Support for top lane, and finally that damage started to come through in the fight for GENG. Doran is actually hitting big shock blast when T1 commit. And that's all it took, is both of these teams will struggle to actually start Baron off, especially GENG's comp. They have very little turn. They're playing a Jace LeBlanc comp, so they can't
Holy,
really
I have the perfect content idea. Holy shit. I have the perfect content idea. You guys are gonna love it.
Start this up, though, with Chovy having all of this vision removed. He's on the other side of the pit.
Well, Owner might get there on time. He's got a lantern, too.
Okay.
Doesn't
oh no! Oh!
No, it's going to be Zaya who picks it up and 2 kills. Immediately going to the pockets of GENG.
And this is a huge Baron here because of the delay. But at the same time, I just really don't think you need to be committing like that.
That's crazy.
Steal, the risk is so high. As look at this fight here. I mean, Carrier's on the back.
Holy.
Gets a hook here onto the Recon. But Faker's pushed out of the pit. Owner has to flash over, a Heartbreaker over route. And the ult value is massive here for Guma. Well, the follow-up isn't there. They're pushed off the Baron. And on the return here,
this is League of Legends, bro.
Enough damage. And then this steal attempt here, obviously with the Lantern, is cool. And it is very close, but they have the feathers set. And Pays denies, and that's 2 kills that go over with it.
Good morning, Alana.
I mean, yeah, fairly risky for GENG
Andrew.
at the end of the day, but
Andrew.
gonna take those kills, whether
Andrew.
the steal goes off or not.
Angel, can I have coffee, Angel? Angel.
And so we reset once again. Let's see
Angel.
what GENG can get done with this Baron power play. They have about 3,000 gold to lead, but it's 32 minutes in. You see what kind of damage Guma can do if he hits a big ultimate. The Zaya, of course, also pretty gigantic in this game. Both our AD carries very fed in this one. GENG, if they push straight into Aphelios, not going to find much value.
The biggest win for them is that they're going to get this third Mountain Drake, you know? And yeah, a lot of map control is coming with this too. So the long gets stronger.
T1 trying to go for the engage here. Has Featherstorm, going to dodge it. It doesn't even have to use it. T1 pretty desperate, looking for an engage in mid lane.
Well, now you're definitely not going to be able to fight for this Drake as T1 anymore. And Chovy gonna take
holy shit, he has Cyrilla, guys. I am complete. Oh. I just praised his Cyrilla. He died because he bought Cyrilla, honestly. Whoa, Pays! Giga Chad Pays! Komushi! 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 Oh! 80 is really balanced.
The light down, but almost died.
80 is really balanced.
Was ready to get in there, man. He's like, I got the stopwatch. I'm going in, and Pays flashes.
Holy shit, we're going to the LCS Drake, guys.
And he cleanses as well. And is able to help secure.
Doran's laughing.
An insanely brave play from a player who's been.
Holy shit, Cyrilla, the Cyrilla value, guys.
These are the types of fights where Pays will not be afraid. Talked about some of the confidence issues for GENG across the years, across the careers of players like Peanut, Chovy, Doran, who struggled to get an LCK title until just last year. But you look at the turn here, and look at how far away Pays is, and he's just going to follow through. And when Chovy goes over the wall, he's like, I'm going with them. This is actually insane. Flashes in, instantly cleanses, and then Featherstorms his way out, so avoids the hook here from Carrier and gets out to secure the kill.
And then Guma did not want to be outdone. As we got another fight, we just keep doing this. As they're looking for Delight mid lane, Hornhorn comes in, catches Doran, as they did not expect that, and down goes the Jace. As the follow-up in here, the Sparrow rushes on the Pays. He doesn't have Featherstorm, it's 1 second away! He's not able to use it here, and this fight, his owner is going to die as Zaya, funnily enough.
Fucking Cyrilla, guys.
That is a trade up here for T1 as they will look to push.
And they're going to try
fucking
to get a hit
Cyrilla, guys.
I think they should be able to.
Or how about this? Over the wall, there you go. This guy is just no chill.
Cyrilla's so fucking useless, guys.
You have to respect.
Yeah,
don't know where it's coming from.
Look at Baker's items now. He's got upgraded Everfrost and Death Cap. Like, he is bursting people down.
They want to try to end here. I think this might be a bridge too.
Nah, man.
Up in 15.
Okay, this is kind of insane.
Nah, man.
Looking for Guma. The Lantern take is perfectly timed. As they take down one Nexus turret, lots of damage on the Chovy.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, they're going to back off after this, but man, they are playing with fire. But they have been doing that
TP?
all series
TP?
long.
Bro, Doran's gonna die again. He's gonna get charmed. He's gonna get charmed into death here. Bro, there's no other way Doran's gonna play it. He's gonna get charmed, and then he's gonna die.
Is there any follow-up after that is the real question.
I don't think so. I think they're gonna get out of here just fine.
Okay, okay.
Doesn't have Cyclone for a few more seconds, and they actually will escape.
Yeah.
And there's no objective,
that's fine.
like you say, for 90 seconds here. So that's just a teleport down here for Doran. And there's a backdoor win condition for T1 once again. This time not as clean as the previous game because there is a Nexus turret up. And once again, there's no control ward or just ward.
Probably they could have ended if Ona doesn't grief.
Was in the base, but it was cleared, of course.
Let's look at this again.
This all starts off with a really aggressive teleport from Faker, and Zeus turns the angle of the at the last possible second, gets Doran. And that's all you need to continue to push forward here.
Pace was like 1 second away.
Yeah, his ult is so close. He doesn't have it in time. So those 2 kills are all the damage removed. GENG fans gotta be really stressing right now.
Bro, he just started 80 carries are OP.
Still up on gold, but this inhibitor being
Guma has no LDR. Bro, this game he shouldn't buy LDR. This is not an LDR game.
And the Soul for Mountain, it's the 7th.
My man thinks it's the same. You think Cyrilla and LDR is the same?
He's just gonna chew through that super minion like it's a block of cheese. Down that will go. As long as they stay grouped as a team in mid, T1 will not really have a real angle to get into the base. So probably just gonna be another fight.
Like he should buy LDR.
And the potential Mountain Soul.
Like he should definitely buy LDR. But I don't mind the other items that he bought. Probably I wouldn't go Hurricane. Yeah, probably LDR is better than Hurricane. But you don't need LDR on 3 items. You should buy on 4 or 5.
Oh. Is insane. Unbelievable. As down goes Doran again. This guy just cannot survive against them.
Yeah. Just like the ult from Zeus, it's turned. It looks like he's charming somebody else.
He just can't survive against them.
Killed here once again before these critical objectives.
Yeah, and the turn is still here. No Ornhorn this time around from T1 as Chains landing on in the box is down in the opening.
It's a bag in the box. Oh, Peanut getting hooked before objective. Okay. Oh! Oh! That's a TikTok. That's a TikTok right there, man. That's a TikTok. This was kind of clean, though. This was kind of clean. This was good. This was pretty damn good. This is pretty good. But also, Pace refusing to flash, it's a different topic altogether.
They have to go through all of these minions, and they are going to be able to go for Mountain Soul here, rushing it over. TP is down to the bottom lane.
They basically have to go all in on this. I don't think you can give this away. Zeus is trying to get on over and delay this as much as he can. Ornhorn comes in, as he will knock up Peanut, but it does not matter. Still lands the smite.
Okay. The LCS Drake goes to GENG.
Is real in mid here potentially for T1 if they just want to try to siege up and win the game that way. But the Soul goes over, and because Peanut pushed the mid wave so aggressively towards the inner turret, there's just no wave to actually go for an end right now. And you know, they still have Baron for 2 minutes, but they're just going to try to take more control over the map instead of trying to. I'm
not a fan of this no CDR Ornn. No CDR Ornn.
It's crazy again, as it has been for all of T1's games in the playoffs.
39 minutes, and we are pushing the bottom lane. The Bloodthirster and Overheal really helping to mitigate some of that damage alongside of their one Mountain Drake as Chovy is getting on in there.
I mean, Chovy is so difficult to kill. He's level 18. He
has fine, baby.
Mountain Drakes and a Banshee's Veil on top of him, so he can kind of continue to harass and look for backline access. But
holy Gomiushi. Lampen. Lantern. What did Waker do? Oh, Pace ulted the bullet from Gomiushi. What did Faker do?
Somehow kill this.
Oh, how was Faker in there?
Doing so much damage here.
Gomiushi couldn't press Lantern. No, what did Faker do, man? Faker went to Narnia, man.
Are able to take out this inhib. Now the mid inhibitor is gonna respawn here. It's up now, and now you have as T1. You're hoping.
Damn, psychos.
For a backdoor, they are seen. They'll be forced away.
Bro, Gumayushi's Giga Chat, dude. Look at him. Look how, like, bro. Whenever he's in the player cam, I believe, it looks like he's running a corporation, man. He runs a chain with fucking 400 locations. Oh, Jace is dead. They didn't show. This is a great replay. Great replay, guys. Thank you. Faker.
Here goes in.
Faker.
Guma hits a big ult here. FaZe has to ult away, and he survives here, so they will lose the inhibitor. But there's no way that T1 can continue to push here. They don't have enough positional advantage here. They don't have enough minions.
Here we go. This is it. Look at this charm.
Yeah. This is the charm where it looks like he's looking for Rakan, but he actually just turns it on to Doran.
Yeah, Doran was walking into them because he didn't expect it.
Doran
walked straight into the charm.
Right, Chobi with the Everfrost. Keeping it chilly. Finds the angles. Is gonna root the whole enemy team. Gumayushi. Cleanse off of cooldown. Lantern ready to be pressed. Faker gets chunked. Misses the Everfrost on the center. Faker low HP.
He's just so tanky with all of these resistances and the Banshees fail, so...
FaZe, GA.
This game is stressing me out about it. I mean...
It really could be anybody's game, too. Like, GENG might just hold, and maybe they win one big team fight, push down mid, and end it.
We also just don't see, like, all season long, this has been the season and the year of one-sided snowball games, where you rarely go past 35 minutes. So, like, 35 minutes, it was, like, for all season long, you're, like, lucky to get there. Plus 40, like, never gonna happen.
Right.
T1 going 40 minutes plus? We've seen that more times in playoffs than we've seen in regular season, because this team just does not mess up their leads. They snowball. You very rarely get these tense games where the gold is even at 42. And
this is the closest 3-0 I've ever seen.
Peak League of Legends right here.
This is like,
Oh, hits the charm.
He got caught. He is so low in the base right now.
Oh.
Not gonna happen. As meanwhile,
Pinatsky.
Zone for his team. I mean, that was not supposed to happen.
No, damn.
No health here, but they can't just go back to the fountain, and T1 don't have a wave here that they could push to try to
Bottom is 2 minutes.
They're just going to come in here, take a dip in the fountain, and then rush back over to mid.
2 minutes bottom.
Yeah, 90 seconds here until the Drake. Now, if you get those kills or you get that GA, you will get the follow-up kill there. Peanut doesn't panic.
Honestly, I feel bad for GENG because all of them are, like, whole of GENG, they are all fasting.
And it's going to be about the
because of Ramadan.
For the carries, right? And Baker has been getting picks onto Doran. Zeus be getting picks onto Doran. If Doran survives here, he's got his flashback up. He could do a ton of damage on the setup in the neutral fight. But if you allow Guma to pop off, he is going to do very likely more than what FaZe is going to do in this fight here. He has that ornament, and he's full build. And yes,
by the way, I want to clarify. Before, when I said it's not an LDR game, it's like I always think of items in the context of what is your 1, 2, 3. That's why I said it's not an LDR game. But generally speaking, there's almost never a game where you don't want to have Void Staff or LDR, like in your completed build. Are GENG Muslim? That's what the rumors say.
Defense for your AD carry on GENG is a good offense. Yeah, it's good poke. And it's these solo laners getting the damage
he has Edge of the Night.
Before FaZe goes into fight.
He has Edge of the Night, guys.
See the execution happen this time around. We saw it happen when Doran hits an accelerated shot blast on Nagumi. He just immediately gets his shield back. It's like it barely even happened. As meanwhile, here we go again.
Oh, nice from Pinatsky. Pinatsky. Wow.
Peanut makes the pick happen as Faker tries to get in and stop the push of the minions, but I don't think he was successful. They've got a cannon.
Yeah, carry is going to go down here, and they're going to try to push to end this one.
Nice.
And a clutch play from Peanut.
Nice.
In an important series, a very incredible engage. We talked about his flash coming up. He has Flash Cyclone, and that's what closes the gap on Naguma. Finally, he's popped into his GA, and the follow-up is real, and GENG steal the win away. And we've got a series on our hands, Valdez.
A little bit late, but we in fact do. It's 2-1 as GENG will give themselves a breath of fresh air, a chance to come back in this series.
I cannot imagine how
hype, guys, hype
right now. The brunt of many
Very high.
GENG fans' anger throughout the last parts of regular season and in best of fives for this team as fans are in tears. Thought it was over, thought it was done, so it's not yet.
What?
To have that engage there and to get on top of Guma, it's a chance to take a 1 in a million engage because his positioning has been so good. He's got a Thresh, he's got an Ahri. There's so many ways to stop this from happening. But
they're crying.
Got Warriors, Trickster, Flash, and Cyclone.
That's crazy.
He's got one of the longest extended
guys.
range engages in the game. And Peanut makes it happen. He doesn't hesitate. And it's been these veteran players, Peanut, Faker, who are making these things happen in the clutch in these 45-minute plus games where just your experience shows through, your decisiveness shows through. And for once, it's Peanut making a aggressive decision that everyone can celebrate on the GENG side of things, of course.
Yeah, the goal difference graph just highlighting kind of how insane this game was.
A cursed game time as well.
Multiple times where they got ahead, they dropped down, they got ahead again, they gave it away. And then finally, they push forward and take the win. And yeah, really just comes down to one engage. Just pressing his buttons on to Gumayusi. They take him down, and GENG, they get another chance in this one. As this is going to start getting very interesting, guys. But first, of course, we will take a bit of a break and hear what the guys on the space have to say about that game number 3.
있고 왼손 빠졌어. 볼게. 보셔 봐. 앞에부터 일단. 이겼어. 앞에. 너무 좋아. 앞에. 펜타. 아, 가라. 라이. 비에고 높아. 아, 가보자. 가보자. 진짜 어땠어? 좋았어. 미안. 너무 미안하다. 진짜 이거 애들아 진짜 어때? 라인 살려 일단 라인 살려. 할만해. 드라마 한번 써보자. 아 미안하다. 우리 진짜 잘해보자.